Hey, James.
Hey, Tim. Welcome to the end of days.
It's pretty bad, isn't it, mate? Oh, actually, no, I've got a bit. Let me do a bit.
Okay.
Hey, James.
Yes.
Can you do me a little favour? When you bring me on, can you bring me on as Joker? That's right, James. I saw the Joker film because I am an incel.
Okay, and tell me about this Joker film. There
was no shooting in the cinema, which is a bit disappointing because I thought maybe I could get my life ended. Let's introduce ourselves. James Russell, who are you?
My name is James Russell. I am a plug-in man. I do a lot of things with plugins.
Plug-in mad, mate, aren't you?
No, I said plug-in man.
No, but you're plug-in mad.
Burning out his fuse down here alone.
I often think of you like Elton John. And I am Tim Can. I'm also a plug-in guy. I love plugins, mate, don't I?
Yeah, you can't get enough of them.
I can't get enough of them. Crushing them up, snorting them, getting high off the plugins. And what are we doing together today?
We're going to talk through some bollocks.
Okay, good. That sounds really great. I can tell that you are afraid you're about to have a Michael Douglas-style falling down scenario. This is Appetite for Production, the apocalyptic music tech podcast.
Tim, here's a new synth for you. Got another one for you.
Yet another synth. They've made another one.
So this is a synth by the company Sampleson.
Never heard of them.
It is a synth called Things. Now,
Nice and vague. I like it.
Here are all the things.
Okay.
The idea behind this...
I can see the categories. These are the 7 types of things that there are in the universe. Okay, brilliant.
It's very much Aristotle's favourite synth.
You're going to have to explain that to me later because I don't know anything about philosophy. Carry on.
So the idea is, instead of having a load of abstract technical controls, you have a bunch of things with friendly names and dials you can turn up.
Oh, it's Stranger Things.
Yeah,
hang on a minute.
Yeah, this is more than a cliche by now.
Yeah, can I pause this? Stop doing Stranger Things, guys. For God's sake. It wasn't Stranger Things or whatever. When it came out or whatever, it was like everyone was like, oh, synthesizers. Unless you're a fucking lightweight, you should have been listening to synthesizers non-stop for the last 30 goddamn years. 40 years. Let's carry on.
Yeah, also there's going to be quite the intellectual property...
Oh, yeah, like...
Anyway.
That was some serious resonance. Carry on.
So currently this synth is tweaking a control called rubber bands, and there's a picture of a big ball of rubber bands. So instead of a technical word, it's a sort of qualitative word.
So you have to guess what's going on instead, basically, rather than actually knowing. Fantastic.
This one that's being moved now is called Arcade, and I guess it makes the synth sound a bit more blippy.
I can't really hear that, but we are listening on my iMac speakers. Oh, yeah, okay. Sounds like there's a bit more square coming in there.
Yeah. It's got a little arpeggiator, which they're showing now. What are the 7 categories of things, Timmy?
Here are the 7, these are the 7 archetypal objects in the universe. Crystal, rubber bands, horror, not really a thing, I guess, Airstream, clouds, arcade, and alien talk.
Yeah, so 7 things by which to tweak your synth, which are very abstract things. Now, I get the idea, I get the premise. It's it's kind of nice to be simplistic about things sometimes. But here's the thing, Tim.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about things. Those 7 qualities each have 4 controls that you can tweak in them.
Yeah.
And in order to get to one of those controls, you have to tab through the different things.
Yeah.
So all in all, you have 28 controls on that interface.
Yeah. 4 of which can be accessed at any one time.
Exactly. So if simplicity is your goal, just put them all on the front page and let us at them.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, I guess if you're music tech lightweight and a proper synth scares you, then why not? Well, that does sound quite nice, actually. I do like a nice pad, don't I, mate?
Yeah, you do like a nice pad. You do, don't you, Tim?
Oh, that does sound good. Oh, yeah, lovely. Oh,
Sure,
maybe I'm starting to feel a bit more benevolent towards
Here is
things.
Clouds getting turned down.
Yeah, turn down those clouds.
And this is one called Air, which I guess
noise,
is basically, it's noise.
Oh, God, yes, it is. Jesus Christ. The thing is, you're going to learn from using this synth, but you're going to learn a load of bullshit. It's going to be like, oh, I fancy a bit of air on this sound. What are you talking about, mate?
Yeah.
I've got no idea.
If this is your first synth and then you go into a proper music production session with someone, you're going to be saying, can we just turn up the scary aliens?
Yeah. Like, I'm not hearing any alien talk. It's like, get taking your pills, buddy.
Where are my clouds, man?
Look, and that horror thing, I do not want to see that while I'm trying to be creative.
You don't like scary clowns?
No, well, no. Not
You're one of those people who's scared of clowns.
Well, no. Clowns are fine, right? But this clown literally has giant serrated dinosaur teeth and is in a shroud of horror fog. So yeah, I don't want to look at that, bruv. I want to look at some freaking faders, mate. You know what I mean?
Well, you got 3 faders per tab there.
Yeah. On the clam front, though, this thing seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah, 39 clams regular price, but currently 19 clams intro.
That's not too bad.
I mean, that's like, what, 1.3 pence per control. No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's less than the regular price. It's just over. Yeah, it's just over £1 per fader you've got there. So,
and there's some global controls as well. And there's this arpeggiator which seems fairly okay.
Yeah, I mean, it seems fine.
That's my 2-star review. It's fairly okay.
7 out of 10.
I'm sure it makes good sounds. I've seen a lot of these things where they try and simplify synthesis, and sometimes it can work. Like especially when they're doing it with FM. If you do it right, then you can simplify a complicated thing. And yeah, this is friendly for sure, but I don't want to have to switch between tabs.
No. I think you can. I think you can make synthesis concepts relatively simple by just having a well-designed interface. Do you know what I mean?
Damn right. Let's show me a spectrograph.
Well, I mean, I wasn't even thinking that advanced. I was thinking about, you've got 4 controls. Maybe just explain what the F they do on the interface or whatever, rather than having a load of crazy graphics. I mean, I guess if you're a massive lightweight, seeing a cuddly alien with giant eyes can make you feel a little bit less scared about playing with a fader.
Did you just say that sentence because that's what you felt?
That's what I saw in front of me. If I see it, I say it, mate. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm a very unsympathetic person, James, because I was absolutely terrified of music production at the start. And maybe it would have really helped me to have some simplifying ideas or whatever. But I think...
Or maybe it would have retarded your development as a sound designer and you'd still be trying to play with scary clowns.
I know, maybe I'd be like, this sound just isn't clowny enough. Where are the sharp teeth? I don't understand. Actually, do you know what? This takes me back to when I started. I used to use like Cakewalk Zeta Plus as my main synth for ages.
Yeah.
I never really understood how that synth properly works. I think even now, I think I'd find it a bit of a faff or whatever. But that was a real bugger. But we've come a long way since then, James.
Yeah.
That was like 15 years ago.
The other thing about this, it looks like it should be on the iPad because the proportions of the screen are such.
Yeah.
But it's not.
No, you're right. And also, one of the sections is called arcade, so it just makes me think of Output Arcade every time it comes up. On the plus side, it sounds decent, man.
Do you really want to be doing a screen cap video with a synth that has the words rubber bands in really big letters while you're playing music?
I don't know. I mean, I'll do anything for money, mate. So
that is very true.
So yeah. Maybe we'll see something from Sampleson soon that isn't so beginner focused and it'll really get our juices flowing. What do you reckon?
Time will tell.
It really will.
We had a bit of a moan there, so let's see if we can find something that.
No, I'm just going to moan about everything today, mate.
No, I want to find something that might at least put us in a good mood.
Okay,
so it's time to look at IK Multimedia's new plugin for 2 reasons, Tim. This is the IK Multimedia Hammond B3X plugin.
Ooh, sexy organ.
And I'm going to level with you. This isn't really interesting, but I want to perform 2 exercises here.
Oh, okay.
3 exercises, in fact. I want to hear some cool organ sounds.
Sure you do. Who doesn't like a nice warm organ in their ears?
Well, that's B, because I want to do some sexual organ gags.
Okay, wow.
And C, I want you to guess when this trailer is going to say the word revolutionary.
Oh my God, in the first 3 seconds. Surely.
You reckon it's the first 3 seconds, not like the second half? Or...
No. I would go the first 3 words.
Okay. So let's have a bit of a laugh and see if you can spot revolutionary.
Okay, here we go.
Also,
oh yeah.
A few inventions in the history of music that have both spawned genres and inspired musicians so greatly.
The piano?
They've stood the test of time.
Are they going to talk about the Uno?
Hammond is certainly one of these.
Yeah.
Look at him fingering his organ.
Close collaboration.
I think that's a woman, isn't it?
In Chicago and
Are those womanly hands?
Sorry, Tim.
manufacturing.
Oh, really?
Set out to pay.
This man has got lovely womanly hands and hair.
As with any instrument with this heritage,
It sounds nice.
enough to simply sample the sound.
No, you don't want to sample that
The
shit.
real experience, the complex interplay of
It's all about the experience, Tim.
circuits,
Why haven't they said revolution yet?
instrument.
Or was I talking over it?
We wanted to capture
It sounds nice.
the feel and the soul of the real units.
You're a real unit.
Revolutionary approach.
These Eddie's-
Revolutionary!
Oh, did they say? Oh, so how
Yeah.
far in are we? 56 seconds.
Okay.
I was really way up
First
there.
one. What they've done, Tim, they've taken a revolutionary approach. They've taken something that was analog.
Yeah,
And they've digitized.
They made a digital version of an analog keyboard.
Yeah,
What?
I can't see this catching on anytime soon.
So what is it?
styles.
It's just subtractive, is it?
It's a sampled Hammond, or is it a physically modeled Hammond?
They
I don't
said
really
they
care.
said they didn't want to sample it, mate. Neither of us have been paying attention.
This is also how
Yeah, we've got too many organ gags.
I know, yeah. We can't listen to this video and talk over it at the same time. This is the whole problem with this whole conceit.
carefully reconstructed the interplay of each tone wheel and circuit.
Whoa.
So the virtual model reacts exactly as the physical ones do.
So it's a virtual model.
This
You've
model
got
sounds.
like, would it make sense to do a physical model of the Hammond thing, or is it just going to be additive, basically?
I don't know.
To use effects to change.
Let's say it's additive.
I'll tell you what, Tim. They've certainly, whatever they've done, they've certainly pulled out all the stops.
Oh my God, Jesus! The most obvious joke you could have made. Fantastic.
section with
And they got effects pedals, I guess. So thank fuck for that.
Yeah, man.
Everyone was asking for them.
It's yeah, of course. It's
We haven't
oh,
got effects in our doors.
into a parallel
It is well, no. I mean, this does sound nice. The thing is, anything sounds good when you've got someone who can actually play keyboards really well playing it. This is the thing. It does actually sound good though, which I'm pretty happy about.
Yes.
And
So there's virtually nothing you can do
I think this.
organ that you can't accomplish here.
It sounds like it's going to be really good, man. I think this might be a world beater. Call me crazy.
Well, you think this will be the top plugin in the world ever?
Well, no, I think this might be the best organ plugin. But you know,
That's gonna blow the other fucking organ plugins out of the fucking water.
I don't know, man. I think other organ plugins are okay, not great, personally.
And you reckon this one is revolutionary?
I think this one sounds really decent. yeah, it's revolutionary. It's not revolutionary, but
think-
it does sound really good.
They've got to you, Tim. IK's got to you.
I'm so gullible, and
They're
I honestly,
subliminal messaging.
hype does really get to me, man. I'll basically believe anything anyone says, really.
Okay, Tim, it is time to talk about the phonocut.
Yes, I was aware of this, James. Let's have a look at it, shall we?
So the phonocut is, as they call it, a home vinyl recorder.
What the world has been waiting for.
And it's on Kickstarter, apparently. You're pulling up the FAQs.
I've been looking at the FAQ already, mate.
There are a lot of FAQs.
Yeah, I want to talk about these FAQs as well.
Hold on. First of all, phonocut.
What does it do, James?
There are many anagrams of this word.
Okay.
I think they could have. I think they could have chosen a word.
That's
name
not what
that's
you think.
different.
You don't think about anagrams when you're trying to make a marketable product, or do you? I don't know.
I think about anagrams whenever I see such an obvious word as phonocut.
Okay.
There are so many, man. There are racist anagrams. There are sexist anagrams. There are dirty words. There are stinky words that I can make out
Oh my
of this.
goodness. Okay.
I mean, just the fact that you can make the word coupon out of it.
Oh, can you?
No, you can make so many words out of phono cut.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
But anyway,
You can, yeah.
we don't have to keep talking about the...
No, we do. That's all we're going to talk about.
The idea is this. It is a home vinyl recorder. So you can finally, as you've been wanting to do for years now,
Yeah.
press your own vinyl for some reason.
Yes. Now, this is the thing. Regardless of what the quality level is like, because there's no way to know that as the product hasn't been made, the cost of the discs, James...
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
20 US clams, correct?
No, that's not correct.
No?
It is going to be 10 Euro clams or 10 US clams.
10 US clams.
Let me just preface this by saying these are not dub plates, as in they're not an acetate that's going to degrade. Apparently, they are very much replayable like a commercial vinyl pressing.
Let's just back up a second, because this phonocut, the way it looks for people listening to the podcast, it looks very much like a Fisher-Price record.
It does,
player
yeah.
that I used to have as a little one.
Yeah, right. Does that make you feel well disposed towards it?
Nah.
Okay, good.
10-inch discs.
Yes. Okay, James. They're 10-inch discs. They cost $10 each, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on the FAQ, it also says, so these are 10-inch discs. It says, can I also cut 12-inch records with Phonocut? No. One word answer. Can I also cut 7-inch records with Phonocut? Yes. No explanation. They don't sell 7-inch records. What is going on, James? I don't understand.
Maybe they've made it for the future so that they can future supply 7-inch records, so you can have even less time per side.
Yeah, great. for no reason. The thing is, I don't understand what the point of this is unless you're a DJ, because you can't, you're not really going to be selling these records because the price of the blank discs is so high.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're going to be giving them to your hipster buddies? I don't know.
Let's briefly mention clam price for the actual unit is €999 clam.
That's really not bad.
It's not bad, but like you say, if you wanted to use it to try and distribute vinyl records, and let's say you sold those vinyl records for 20 clams, 10 clams per disc, you'd have to sell 99 physical vinyl records before you even broke even on your shit.
Yeah, this is clearly not a substitute for getting a record, like a run of records pressed at a plant, basically.
Exactly. And so, Tim, what is it? What is this?
I don't know, because the thing is, it's hard to tell if the records will be like, because if you played a lot of vinyl only nights as a DJ and wanted to play your own music, maybe this would be a good shout.
I think that's fair.
But we don't know if the quality will be up to, because when you're pressing a dance record, it needs to be loud, but also the needle needs to not jump all over the place. So it's kind of like a fine line of getting those two things or whatever, which is, why vinyl is such a sort of a big deal and a pain in the bum.
A big deal pain in the bum.
Yeah, yes. So I don't know. And the weird thing is, they're really keen to point out that you can record stuff on it in real time. Like
a mini disc.
Yeah, or a mini disc, which is, this technology is approaching the usefulness of a mini disc. I don't know. Have you got a hot take on this? Why people might want to do it?
Yeah, my hot take is that no one should want this. It's basically, like they've called it a home vinyl recorder.
Yeah.
And no one needs this. No one.
I don't think anyone needs it. Clearly, a lot of people desire it because they've already pledged €309 clams of their 200...
309,000
euro clams of their 200,000 euro clam goal.
Hell.
Yeah, man. And there's 28 days to go on the Kickstarter still.
This is nuts.
Yeah, man. People love vinyl. Hipsters love vinyl.
Well, that's the thing. So this is basically for people who have nothing better to do than take some pristine, beautiful digital music, pipe it into a crust machine, and then take it from that other crust machine and go play it back on their other turntable.
I guess.
That is a faff.
I know. Well, they've got like a video on their thing. Like they're recording someone's live performance, a very ill-attended environmental awareness raising concert here. They've also got a woman singing directly onto a disc. I mean, I have heard of
Why
people...
would you do that?
This is crazy, right? I've heard of people recording individual tracks onto vinyl to then import into a digital session or whatever. But it's like, mate, Wave's vinyl plugin on sale for €29, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a lot easier.
I'll tell you what would actually be a good seller. If you could get a little box into which you can plug a jack, and out of it comes a jack, and you can basically plug it into anything at home, any consumer gear, and it will tinge it with the sound of vinyl.
Yes.
Just a little box. Like, forget all the equipment. If you want to be a hipster and you want to make it sound like you're playing some 2019 Psytrance song on a vinyl record, just plug
like
a little
plug-in
box.
in a box that's sort of vinylizer, basically.
Exactly. That would be more sensible
That's an interesting
than this.
idea, you know.
Yeah, it would be more sensible than this, and it's an interesting idea, and the hipsters would friggin' love it.
This is the thing, right? They've got a bunch of suggestions of what you might use this for on the Kickstarter page. Like, the first one is a mixtape record. So it's like a great way of saying, I miss you or I love you. How pissed off is this hipster's girlfriend going to be getting a 10-inch record or whatever every time her boyfriend, like, forgets her birthday or something like that?
If that's one of the only things they can think of to justify this.
Yeah, totally. Small record editions, wherever you are, your own first records.
Oh, yeah, great.
Novelty.
Just file,
Test
export.
records? That doesn't sound right. No. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's not going to help you. It's not going to be like, it's not like a test pressing of like a large run.
If you have to pay $1,000 for it. I mean, if you're a studio who does a lot of this stuff and wants to do a quick, like, here's what your thing's going to sound like after we send it off to be pressed. Fine. Pay $1,000 and pay a few clams for the actual plates. But I don't see why they've hit their targets. What is wrong with people?
People are crazy and they've got too much money, bro.
It seems like it. Yeah, why don't you send some of that money our way, stupid people?
Yeah. Should we mention our Patreon right now?
Yeah, you can subscribe. Not even subscription. It's you can donate to our poor asses for as little as 1 clam per month, or as much as 26,000 clams per month.
That would really help us out, that 26k clams. And what do they get for their 1 clam plus a month, James?
There are some extra things we've put up. We have at least 1 extra episode more coming, and there are some videos that we put up there, and they get early access to
wow, great,
to the episodes as soon as I've
I try to put off listening to them as long as possible. Why would anyone want early access? Doesn't make any sense. That sounds like a good deal for just as little as $1 clam a month, buddy.
Did you just say $1 clam a month?
Yeah, I know, mate. It's not loads, is it?
That sounds great. Where do I go to give these guys money?
You'd go to, I don't know, can you tell me?
Yeah, would you go to patreon.com/A4P podcast?
Oh, that sounds like a really good idea.
Great idea.
Can we also just say thanks to our Patreon subscribers right now, James? Including any new ones. Did you know the new guy's name off the top of your heads?
Stephen Vale, yeah.
Hey, mate, pretty impressive. Also, I'd like to say a big shout out to people who I know IRL who listen to this, including...
Stop lying, Tim.
I know, I do know people who listen to this in real life. I'm going to give them a shout out because it's going to make them feel warm and fuzzy. Just want to give a quick shout out to Kyle, Gareth, Alex, Adam, maybe, and Ali, or whatever. Cheers for listening, guys. I appreciate it. You're my babes, yeah.
You've got a lot of uncles.
I do, yeah. No relative of mine would listen to this podcast, mate.
Shall we get back to the phono cut?
No, I think we're done, mate. I think we've done slagging them off. I mean, it's admirable they're doing it, mate. Do you know what I mean?
No,
oh,
it's not.
Really? Okay.
It's not admirable. It's silly.
Okay. Do you know what? It is silly. But hey, at least things are moving towards, you know, the right direction of being able to press records easier. But
well, at least if
for 10 clams are blank, bruv.
If all of this fucks up and the podcast doesn't get successful,
yeah,
you know, if only.
I mean, that's definitely not going to happen.
Then we can just sell that vinylizer in a box for the hipsters.
Yeah, I think that's actually a good idea, man.
Runs off an AA battery and just turns anything you want into vinyl.
Yeah, you can just have like a 8-inch, eighth of an inch in, eighth of an inch out, or whatever.
That's what you have.
Yeah. I wish, mate. And make you sound all crusty with your eighth of an inch. How about that? Okay, this story is over.
We have degenerated.
The other thing I wanted to talk about was that flipping streaming thing you recommended to me last time.
Oh, the old
remember
splash
that?
top.
Yeah, splash top. So yeah, I mean, it took a while to get it working, mainly because on flipping Macs these days, anytime you try and install anything, it goes, this isn't from a recognized developer web.
Oh, yeah,
Even if you go
yeah.
in and change the freaking shit in terminal and stuff. Oh, it's so annoying. After loads of fanning around, I got it working.
Does it also start saying this is not optimized for your Mac?
Oh, just like there's so much irritating stuff on Macs these days, man. They really need to sort it out, especially considering the extortionate prices they're charging. So it irritated me. Very basically, there were various irritations getting it working. But once I got it working, it was actually pretty good. It uses Soundflower for the audio, which it doesn't really explain. So you've got to, but once you set that as your
do you have
driver,
to use Soundflower?
You
didn't when I first got it. Maybe it's the new audio.
No, it
shit.
installs it as part of it, and then without telling you, so I fucking got Soundflower back on my machine. Well done, Soundflower, you're back. And you have to choose that as the driver in your DAW. And it works okay, little bit of lag. The main problem was when you zoom in live, kind of doesn't want to stop zooming. So there's real issues with the zooming in and out stuff when you're using a mouse.
Are you
or
trackpadding?
I was trackpadding on my
So
laptop.
you're zooming in and it gets the order to start zooming, but it doesn't get the order
It
to stop.
sometimes doesn't want to stop, yeah. It's really fiddly.
That's weird.
It is weird.
Other than that,
it seemed like a decent solution. And, importantly, it's free.
could you make some incredibly zoomed in beats from your bed?
Do you know, I did work on some stuff from my bed briefly. But I'm planning on not being so tired from now on.
Yeah, it sounds like a good plan.
No, and okay, and I'll tell you how I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to stop eating so much bread during the week.
That's fine.
This is my new plan. And then I won't need to lie in bed to do music stuff. I'll be able to sit down at my desk like a human being.
Is the bread stopping you from sitting down because you're covered in bread?
No, I get it all in my mouth. But I then have to lie down for an extended period.
Okay, well, it sounds like you definitely have some kind of gluten intolerance, so maybe you should stop eating bread forever.
Oh, that's not going to happen, mate.
Well, in that case, maybe you should eat bread for every meal.
No, well, no. Why does it have to be this black or white situation, James?
Those are the only two options.
Oh, what about shades of grey breads? I did look at some gluten-free breads in my
horrible.
local Tesco.
Don't do it.
Oh, is it? Well, it cost £2.80, mate. So I was like, nah.
Just forego bread. It's unnatural. We shouldn't be eating it. And what the Romans did for us was nothing.
Yeah. Well, the problem is...
Why don't
now
you just abandon sewerage as well and just live
mate,
on the street?
Well, I haven't used an aqueduct in a while, mate. So, you know. The problem is I made friends with that baker woman.
Yes, you did.
I banged on about how glad I was there's a bakery. So now I've got this freaking... ethical dilemma of feeling like I need to go and spend all my money in the local bakery. But maybe I can just buy the bread, chuck it away and not eat it, and then...
Don't give in to the capitalists, Tim.
No, it's true. I mean, I don't feel like this woman and her bakery is like the worst part of capitalism. But equally, I just can't be tired and bloated the whole time, mate. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't think she's going to give you any bread. So you don't need to see her.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. James,
Timmy,
would you like to know about the Launchpads?
I've seen that there are 2 new Novation Launchpads, but that's about all I know.
Okay, sounds like you really don't know a lot about Launchpad. Let me tell you. A lovable doofus, Launchpad McQuack may seem absent-minded, yet despite often making mistakes, he always gets his assigned task done competently in the end, and as such, he's a valuable helper for Scrooge McDuck, despite often irritating Scrooge with his ignorance. This is the Launchpad you were talking about, right? He is a gentle giant and is also very charming and witty. Additionally, Launchpad remains calm and positive in extreme and intense scenarios, never panicking or losing his cool. In fact, the only thing that comes close to scaring Launchpad are Scrooge's temper tantrums. Scrooge is a billionaire, by the way.
I wasn't talking about Launchpad McQuack.
Okay, right.
I was talking about the Novation Launchpad.
I just want to finish this paragraph. I was going to say he gets it on with Huey, Dewey, and Louie. That'd be a different program. He gets on with Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Webby. Do you remember Webby?
No.
Very well. She's the niece, and is fiercely protective of them. In fact, if the Duckling Quartet are endangered, he employs his finest piloting skills towards rescuing them. He's also very popular with the ladies. What are your thoughts on Launchpad McQuack, James?
I didn't really watch DuckTales.
What? Mate, that's rendered this bit completely nonsensical. Why didn't you watch DuckTales, dude?
I watched
DuckTales are woo.
I watched a bit of DuckTales. I remember Scrooge McDuck diving into his
pool of money.
Pool of clams, yeah.
And it was like, one day I'm going to have my own podcast and I'm going to have a giant silo full of golden coins. Was that what inspired you to get on this career path?
Yeah, exactly. But that's about as far as it goes.
Would you like to know about the new Novation Launchpads?
Please, for the love
of
fuck, tell me about the proper Launchpad.
Well, do you know what? I didn't realise this is a 10-year celebration of the Launchpad, mate. Do you feel old yet?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I do, because I'm a lot older than you. In fact, I'm about 10 years older than you, so that kind of makes sense.
Fill me in slightly. I mean, I know what a Launchpad is. It's a controller generally specifically for Ableton Live.
It's a matrix of buttons that you might want to use, for example, for triggering clips in Ableton Live Session View, mate.
Yes, but as of the last few years, Ableton brought out their own Push and Push 2, and so where does that leave the Launchpad?
Well, it leaves it in a position of being quite a lot cheaper, buddy, and a lot simpler, believe me. So this is really relatively bare bones. You've got your matrix, you've got some buttons along the top and the side that do various functional things.
I see it. So Ableton have got like full integration with the DAW because they can very easily do that. They've got like everything you want to do using EQs and shit like that.
Yeah, so you can basically control everything in Ableton Live with a push. This does have some stuff that's not just session view thing, and it's
But generally, Novation have run away from that because they could never compete.
No, not really, mate. It's still basically just a clip launcher.
Exactly.
And it does stuff. So it's now this new. It's okay. There's two new models. Yeah, there's the Launchpad X and a revised Launchpad Mini, which is smaller and cheaper.
Sold.
Yeah. Give me that one. So they both have 8x8 grids. So that's 64 buttons, James. I don't know if you know that.
Hang on a second. Let me.
Oh God.
8, 16, 24, minus 8.
Oh no.
Plus 8 makes 24.
Jesus.
32.
Oh God.
What's the next one? 40?
yeah, that's right.
48.
48. Yep. 56. Come on.
No,
You're getting there. You're getting there, buddy.
But that's 7 8s. And so 8 8s is 56 plus 8.
Yes, it's 64. 64 pads. There's a second layout. So there's your main thing, I guess, which is... Oh, no. Okay. There's a new note mode for playing melodic parts. I have no idea why it didn't have that before.
Oh, really? Okay, so it's not just random pads.
It's you can play some notes. I mean, maybe we don't know if it does some... Because we couldn't be bothered to research it, whether it does something like push, where it lights up the buttons to tell you what you should be pressing, basically. There's also a second layout for controlling Ableton Live's drum racks, so you can make a tune or a beat. And there is also a mixer mode. Plus 4 custom modes that Ableton Sense sees it.
How does mixer mode work with an 8x8 button
all
matrix?
I've read is this musicradar.com story.
Oh, mate.
I did go to the website, but like I was just immediately irritated by seeing like a hot model on there playing with one who looks like she's got no idea what she's doing, and that annoyed me. I don't know, she could be a musician.
She's certainly getting a Novation Launchpad in and out of a bag.
Oh, you get 2 months of splice free, which is pretty good, actually.
It's not bad.
It doesn't really seem to go into the you get a bunch of free software as well. You get Ableton Live Lite. And it's pretty cheap, actually. Let me tell you the price of the cheap one, bruv.
It's nice and colourful.
It's 100 clams, UK clams.
Oh, 100 clams for the Mini.
For the cheap one, I think it's like 180 for the more expensive one.
I like how they've sort of got deeper, brighter colours.
It does look Nice.
Ableton would never really go that far because they're cool. They're too
cool for school, bro. Yeah, 180 quid for the big one.
But Novation can run away from Ableton and say, hey, we're going to give you bold, bright colours.
I imagine in a live environment, that would be good because you could see what the F was going on.
And it would be fun for people to look at.
Mm-hmm. And you get custom modes as well.
Okay.
So there's just tons of... Oh, and there's an iOS app as well. Whatever that would do, I have no idea.
I like the fact that this is a lot cheaper than a push because I wouldn't necessarily use a push for entire Ableton integration.
Do you want to guess how much a push would cost?
Aren't they like 420 sort of price?
420, baby. Let's see if it's true. Oh, God, where's the button to buy it? Oh, don't make me scroll down the whole freaking page.
Even Ableton make you scroll these days.
Oh, yeah, ready to buy push? Yeah, literally the last thing on the page.
Push.
Oh, my God.
So,
600 clams, buddy.
600 clamaroos.
So bearing in mind, you can get the mini one of the Launchpad for 99 clams. It's significantly cheaper.
I'd say it's a knob-brainer.
Oh, God. A knob-brainer. You're putting your knob into someone's brain. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you might as well if you're going to spend so much money on a push. But I mean, yeah, push does. You can add devices and tweak the devices. So yeah, if you want to build an entire Ableton session without touching the computer, push is your one. But if you've got something set up and you just want to launch stuff, got to go with that pad.
That's very insightful, James.
Well, I don't know much about it because I don't use this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is cool. I mean, my main takeaway is Launchpads came out 10 years ago. I'm going to die soon. I am really scared.
Offensive tweet again.
No.
Okay, so recently I've been listening to a few old episodes of the podcast. And I've noticed how my production styles and opinions have changed even as of the last few months.
Oh, wow. Well, I didn't think you had any style or any opinions, so that's interesting news to me. Tell me more.
One thing I kept hearing myself say was like, I don't use dynamic EQ.
Oh, and now you can't get enough of that sweet dynamic EQ shit.
I've been doing a lot of production of vocals recently.
Really?
And for some reason...
James, you're such a dark horse. What, when, where, why, how?
For some reason, I've got into the habit. The only plugin I want to use when I pull up a vocal is FabFilter Pro MB.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And it's probably a bit of a left field thing for vocals, but... Here's the deal. Vocals are weird because you've got vowel sounds which move up and down and they have a big range, but there's a lot of harmonics in there and everything.
A-E-I-O-U. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you have the consonants which pretty much remain at the exact same points in the frequency spectrum. Your S's,
kicking
cats. Kicking cuz, yeah. And so what I've been doing, I've been getting myself a Pro MB and I've been sort of treating the fundamental region of the vocals, the vowels, differently to what I do for the consonants, and maybe another band in between the two, and setting all those up to compress them differently and because Pro MB sort of acts a bit like a compressor, a bit like an EQ. You can do a bit of both or whatever's necessary, and so it's just become a go-to for me for doing vocal stuff.
Okay.
I've also been using it a lot for like just ducking bass when
I see
when a kick comes along. So I thought, okay, bass sound. Let's pop a sidechain from the kick.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You're just ducking that bass region in the other thing. Oh, okay.
With Pro MB, and it's harder to do it with a dynamic EQ band. You could do it with a dynamic EQ band.
Oh God, that sounds like a real. I wouldn't even want to start thinking about that. My brain hurts.
Yeah, exactly. But Pro Q3, for example, they introduced dynamic EQ.
Yeah,
but they don't let you choose attack and release times, which is especially critical when you're ducking bass. Mm-hmm. They make it hard for you to set a threshold. They've hidden it behind a thing because they don't really want you to set the threshold.
Yeah.
Which is why I've been just turning to Pro MB. You can set attack and release times. You've got your range there and threshold. So I've been really hitting it with my lovely Pro MB. And I like that sucker. When Pro Q3 came out, because I was listening to earlier episodes of the podcast, I realized that I said Pro Q3 having dynamic EQ might make ProMB a bit redundant. I've totally gone back on that. I love ProMB now.
Wow, okay. I mean, people love FabFilter plugins. They don't talk about ProMB that much.
No, but I've always really liked what it did. I mean, it was a completely different idea. I mean, yes, it's multi-band dynamics, but you can do exactly what you want to, however many bands, wherever you want.
Right.
And it is EQ meets dynamics. And you could technically, you could set up a compressor for your whole band using ProMB, or you could set up an EQ that doesn't actually react at all to dynamics.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, right.
I'm just really loving it. I think I don't know where they could possibly go with a ProMB 2 or something, but I like how it's working on vocals.
What sort of vocals are you using it on, mate?
Any vocals. Like I could do it on our vocals. It would give me.
We don't want our voices to sound too rich and sonorous and sexy,
No,
because
no, of
everyone's
course.
underwear will disappear.
But you could use it for EQing, de-essing, and general compression at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I rarely use ProMB, but it's nice to have it there for those moments when you need it, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd never got on that well with multi-band compression. It was never a go-to for me, but it's really become one.
I tend not to use it because I don't use a lot of material where there is loads of different like there's it's really spectral and you need to control the dynamics of that stuff that much, apart from like very rare instances, but it's really fantastic. Though I have to say, Ableton Live's built-in multi-band dynamics, while not that easy to use,
True.
Well, it's easy to use, it's just a bit of a faff. You've got to think, oh god, it works this way, but that is really good and everything. But yeah, ProMB is really nice. It's nice to use, isn't it?
It is. It's comfortable. It's immediate.
So we're saying FabFilter, good plugins.
Oh god, yeah. I'm just waiting to see what those motherfuckers do next. Has it escaped your attention about macOS Catalina? Dun, dun, dun.
It hasn't escaped my attention. Everyone's saying don't upgrade to it. I am still on High Sierra. So what is Catalina 15? Is it 10.15?
Yeah, it is.
What's 10.14?
The one that I have, is that Mojave?
Mojave. Oh, I've got that on my laptop. It doesn't seem to have destroyed everything on there. I am still reticent to update. Well, I guess if I wanted to update my flipping iMac now, I'd have to go straight to Catalina, would I?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, I'm not doing that, bruv.
I don't think updates do as much damage as you're thinking they do, except this new one. But in general,
God, really? Is it bad?
Up until now, the only mistake you can make with updating was updating immediately.
Yeah.
Because the developers sometimes need to tweak a few things, and if you update after a few months, it's completely fine. I've done it many times, and I'm happy. But this is a different situation.
Oh God. Break it down for me, bro.
Did you have something you wanted to say?
I've got another story that I forgot we haven't looked at yet, but we can talk about that after this, yeah.
So Apple have made it so if you want to distribute software to install on someone's computer, it has to be notarized.
What, you have to go to a solicitor? Great.
The developer has to go through some kind of notarization process.
Oh, God.
You know how recently, when you open something, it'll sometimes say this software is not optimized for your Mac.
Yeah, and it's like, and you have to go into the security thing and say, yes, I actually wanted to install this because I'm not a blithering idiot. Yes.
I'm not my mother.
Look, guys, I'm not my mother. I wish people would stop saying I'm my mother, okay? Carry on, James.
It's like that, going to the security settings and letting it through, but times a million, and the developer has to do it.
Fuck that. Apple, what the fuck are you playing at, guys?
Well, I guess they want to make sure that they're not letting anything through, but still, it's...
Fuck off! Oh, man. They're just pissing me off now, man.
So most developers are sending out emails saying, we are not Catalina ready. Don't upgrade if you want to use our stuff.
Fuck's sake.
If you've got the kind of thing that you can buy through the Mac App Store, then you're fine.
Which I used once to buy BioShock, and then I ended up getting it through a Humble Bundle on Steam anyway. Carry on.
Fucking App Store, man.
Oh, mate. Yeah, that never really did the big guns, did it?
So it seems that the process for the developer to notarize a VST file, a VST3 file, an AU file is relatively straightforward. So the guys who distribute it as a zip folder and you just drag it into the right folder, they're mostly fine. They don't have to do that much. The problem seems to be coming up where you have a PKG installer to double click and it will run through the installation. That seems to be making the most problem.
What is going to happen, James?
Well, what is going to happen is that anyone who, like a sucker, upgrades too early is going to be fucked for a lot of their plugins.
Oh, God,
and
really?
The weird thing is that it does include plugins as well as just straight software that you run as applications.
Fuck's sake.
So do not upgrade. Try and do your best to avoid any sort of upgrade. And hopefully in 6 months to a year, things will be donezo.
Or they might just be shitter than ever.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
But the thing is, this has only just come out, Catalina, so you shouldn't have upgraded by now anyway, because all OS updates sort of messed people around as soon as they came out. If you were upgrading as soon as something came out, you're basically a sucker, okay?
I'm extremely grumpy about this news, James.
Yeah.
Can I just do a public service announcement?
Go ahead. Shall I put some music behind it?
Please do. I think that would really help enforce the message. If you're going to update your operating system, this is specific for Mac users, but it's pretty advisable for PC as well. But I'm gonna talk about it in Mac terms. For God's sake, make an image of your drive with Carbon Copy Cloner. You can do a download of it for free or whatever, and it's very generous with it lets you seem to run it forever without paying for it. Just make sure you get an image of your drive, and the thing is though, the update might even change the firmware as well.
Yeah.
So I would just say, don't update if you can at all avoid it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I only ever update when there's something that I need to do that I can't. So fear the future, guys. It's awful. And just stay rooted in the past. Stay in 2017, which is when High Sierra came out, probably. Well, James, both you and I are physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually drained.
Drained and spent, Tim.
Yeah. So, what's on the future horizon for you, there, little buddy?
I'm going to be doing a load of baby stuff and
boring.
Reconvening here in 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks
to record another episode.
Get your ass to Mars. 2 weeks. Those are Total Recall references, James. You're probably too young to watch it. Don't watch the Colin Farrell version. Okay, guys, it's been a pleasure having you. We hope to have you again real soon, right, little buddy?
Yeah. Tim will teabag us all in 2 weeks' time.
I teabagged you earlier. How was it? Did I leave the bag in long enough? Or did I not? Because I noticed you left your bag in for quite a while.
I was happy. I was choking it down.
Okay, wicked. Okay. Well, more teabag action next time, guys. See you later.
Bye. They're literally digging in that space there.
Yeah, like there's no wall there anymore. And I just read in the paper the other week that apparently there's going to be some new Tory law saying no more planning permission for building extra layers on your house.
Oh, wow.
So presumably this will be 8 foot tall and I won't get any natural sunlight anymore. So yeah, great. I mean, it's supposed to be just to the same level as it was before, and they're getting down. But if there's
build an underground car park, mate,
it's going to be an under fucking subterranean dwelling, literally. So
nice.
Anyway,
Bob Dylan would have liked that.
Oh yeah, yeah. And he can play with his fucking alien talk while he's down there.
Drop fucking cards with words on them all over the street.
yeah. Wicked. Oh man, he was like, it's a shame he wasn't like really doing his thing during the meme time, because he'd been such a meme dude. Do you know what I mean?
There would be a digital version where you could just write whatever you want on the cards, and he would just keep dropping them. And
okay, hot take: if Bob Dylan was around now, he would be like a top YouTuber, basically.
He'd be in prison for littering.
He'd be like, "Hey, when do you like and subscribe? Hey," that's my Bob Dylan impression.
Will you hit the bell button? For me?
Yeah, right.
Nice.